Welcome, everyone, to Sports Talk Podcast. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about running backs today. Again, for redraft leagues, you should be able to see the PPR running back rankings. We're not going to go through them all, just answer a couple of questions. Joined today by Tyler. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
What's up? I'm Tyler, Davis's friend and a two-time fantasy champion.
He is the two-time champion. He's the reigning champion in our dynasty league. So basically, you're joined with the back-to-back champion and the two-time league leader in points today. Got some pretty good running back advice headed for you. Looks like the top three guys are consensus rankings for the most part, a little bit here and there. First question, would you rather have Dalvin Cook or Alvin Kamara?
I got to go with Dalvin Cook.
All right. Why would you go with Dalvin Cook here?
I think the Saints share the ball a little too much. They got Michael Thomas, obviously. They got another good receiver now. A lot of times they don't even like to force-feed Kamara in running back situations. So I feel like Cook's a better option for me personally.
I definitely agree, especially the point with not force-feeding Kamara. The reason I do have Kamara over Cook is I feel like we had a similar situation play out last year with Melvin Gordon and Austin Eckler, as we might see this year with Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison. Basically, I see that Dalvin Cook's holdout, the Vikings are going to be hesitant to pay him, as most teams are with running backs, with the exception of McCaffrey. So I'm worried if he misses any game time whatsoever, I think we'd rather have Kamara in that case, just, maybe a little bit less. I also think Kamara has a little less injury risk than Cook.
Yeah, I agree.
Going off of history. Can't go wrong really with either of those guys. I think they're clearly above Derrick Henry. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. So our next question, we're going to go down a little bit more. We're going to talk about Aaron Jones or Nick Chubb.
I got to go with Chubb. I think he's going to be on the come up. And, yeah, I don't know. I think Aaron Jones has been playing great. I think he'll slack off this year.
Interesting. So about this time, when we get to that 8-9 slot, we're beginning to deal with players who have, if not very clear challengers to touches on their offenses, at least coaches who want them to be challenged. So for Chubb, we're talking about Kareem Hunt there. For Aaron Jones, not only do they have Jamal Williams, who's still there, but the Packers actually drafted the running back A.J. Dillon out of Boston College. And both of those guys are going to steal touches from Aaron Jones. I still have Aaron Jones, and the reason for that is even with lower touchdown luck, which I think is definitely going to happen, the Packers are a run-first team now, whereas I expect the Browns to be a little bit more balanced.
Unless Baker starts,
Baker plays like he did last year, and especially with Kevin Stefanski in town now, I could definitely see Nick Chubb exploding. These guys are definitely neck and neck. I'm going to give the edge to Aaron Jones on this one. The next one, we're not going to compare two players really, but we're looking at two guys side by side. So I'm going to lead off on this one. First guy we're going to talk about is Josh Jacobs, followed by Myles Sanders. Josh Jacobs on our rankings here is ranked 12th. I have Josh Jacobs as a top 8 running back. In fact, I have him ahead of both Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb that we just discussed.
Yeah, I feel more confident having Josh Jacobs on my team, and I actually have him on my team in one of our leagues.
Yes.
I just feel like he's a better player, in my opinion.
Are you agreeing that he's better than Jones and Chubb?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, with the experience, it wouldn't surprise me, I guess, if he'd be better than Jones, but
I definitely think they're a lot closer than the rankings would tend to suggest. Just kind of for your understanding, listening, Aaron Jones and Nick Chubb, they're being drafted at the turn of the first and second round versus Josh Jacobs is being drafted, late second, early third round. I definitely don't think there's a round difference between these guys. And then the next guy is Myles Sanders. Again, I think I'm going to lead off for this one since Tyler's been doing a bunch of the heavy lifting. I have Myles Sanders way down So he's ranked 13th. I have Chris Carson, Leonard Fournette, Le'Veon Bell, and Todd Gurley all ahead of him, which would bump him down to about 18th. The reason for that is I see the Eagles' backfield being more committee-based than I think people are expecting.
I agree with everything except Todd Gurley. I'd be hesitant to say that, but I definitely think he's down there.
Todd Gurley definitely, with his injury history.
That's my only worry.
Yeah, you never know with Todd Gurley. If he's even 80% of the player he was now in Atlanta, I expect pretty big things from him. That actually segues 100%. Us nicely to the next pairing. Who would you rather have between Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley?
I got to go with Le'Veon Bell just because I feel like he's a bit healthier. I feel like he's a better catcher. So this PPR, I got to go with Bell.
And Le'Veon Bell, more than anything, he is the unquestioned touch leader for the Jets. You know, they don't even have Robbie Anderson this year. He will unquestionably be approaching 20 touches
he
a
is
game
their
for that
offense.
team. Yes.
They're a big part of it.
Despite that, I'm still going to go with Todd Gurley on that one.
He's got something to prove.
He does have something to prove. He's on a 1-year deal. So while his health was a major concern for the Rams and their long-term extension last year, that's not going to be the same concern for Atlanta because, you know, if Todd Gurley's not the same Todd Gurley next year, it's probably not going to affect him that much. So I don't see them having the same reservations about giving him lots of touches game in and game out.
Yeah, I agree. They got value in him, so might as well use him.
Our last comparison today, we have David Johnson or Melvin Gordon.
I'm going with Melvin Gordon. I might eat my words later, but as of right now, that's what I would do.
I'm taking David Johnson. So why are you taking Melvin Gordon on this one?
To be honest, it's just lack of trust with David Johnson. That's about it.
Is warranted. You know, this is a guy who literally lost his job to Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
And not that Kenyon Drake is a bad player, but he's a guy who'd always shown flashes and never actually put it all together, at least until the tail end of his trade to Arizona. I'm going David Johnson for less competition. Yes, Duke Johnson is there. Yes, Duke Johnson will have more impact on receiving. But in Denver, you have Phillip Lindsay. Phillip Lindsay's, you know.
Not a joke.
He's a good spellback. So very, very worried about more of a 60-40 split in Denver than I would be in Houston. That's definitely going to be David Johnson getting the vast majority of carries. All right. Thanks so much, Tyler, for joining us. Do you have any final notes on running backs, guys that you're looking at getting?
As long as I got CMC, baby, I'm confident. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Not taking too many shots, but he is a 2-time champion, and CMC has been his leader both years.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll get to work together in the future.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do it for Sports Talk Podcast on this one. We'll see you on the next one.